going on, everybody? Hair here, and this is the movie review. I love doing these. The movie review for the brand new Jurassic World Dominion. This is the, I guess you could say, the Spider-Man No Way Home version of Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. All worlds meet, multiverse, not really multiverse, but something of that manner. This movie was not great, and I'm a Chris Pratt fan. I like the whole Jurassic World stuff. My girl wanted to see it. I said, let's check it out. We have movie tickets, why not? I hate going to the movies, but let's check it out. This movie had so much frustrating points to it. I felt like I was watching the Fast and the Furious, and you know, if you're a realist watching those movies, you know how ridiculous they can be. Nothing against cars, nothing against Vin Diesel, The Rock, all the above, but those movies are just the epitome of ridiculous. They might as well be, you know, a Marvel DC franchise. And this isn't about, you know, Fast and the Furious, though. This is Jurassic World Dominion. This one of the cheesiest movies I've seen in a very long time. I think if you're a big fan of the Jurassic Park, Jurassic World franchises, you're going to enjoy it because there's callbacks to the original characters, which Alan Grant, Ali Sattler, and then Ian Malcolm, who, you know, Jeff Goldblum, and he is immediately the comic relief, which he has been in the movies in the past. He's, you know, playing himself, sarcastic, being witty, doing all that. There's a lot of cheesy stuff between Alan Grant and then Ali Sattler, where they're, you know, talking about getting together. It's just funny because they're, you know, older and stuff like that. But just so much cheese. It's, you know, it's literally cheddar and Parmesan, all the cheese in there. It's crazy how cheesy it is. But, you know, I guess Jeff Goldblum has his moments where he's, you know, being silly, funny-ish, I guess you could say. A lot of good Jeff Goldblum fans out there. It wasn't my cup of tea. Also, one other thing I want to mention: Chris Pratt is the Rock in Fast and the Furious in this. He's there's a scene where so he's trying to save I think it's his wife in this movie, Claire, right? She's just lost, and okay, so yeah, I'll set this up. She's lost. They find her conveniently. A lot of other convenient things happens to it. She's going to get eaten by some dinosaur. Right at the last second, Chris Pratt grabs it with one arm, and that's all it takes, and he stops it with one arm. And then I think they shoot it or something like that happens. But it's reminiscent of The Rock when he's pulling down the helicopter on with one arm and has a rope in the other hand or the other arm, and it was just crazy. I'm like, man, that if this was the Avengers, I guess I could see it. You know, if Captain America did it or Spider-Man did it, superhuman strength, all Superman. Guardians of the Galaxy, if, you know, Chris Pratt played his character, maybe, I don't know, but that was just crazy to me. But even before that, more the ridiculousness. So, one of the big things that happens in this movie is, you know, Chris Pratt's character, is Owen, and his wife, again, Claire. They have their daughter now, who in the previous movie, you know, they find she's a clone or she's a specimen made in a lab, who's Mace. She gets stolen by people that want to sell her, like the black market. They want to sell dinosaurs, they want to get her, and they want to whatever, and the lab wants to get her. They steal her, they steal Mace, so of course, you know, Chris Pratt and his wife, they want to go take her, they want to go get her. That's, you know, one of the main things of the movie. So they steal her, right? And then all of a sudden, this, you know, foreign / I guess black market pilot sees her, who's played her name in the movie is Kayla. She sees a little girl getting taken away. She sees it, and right then I'm like, oh, she's going to be a protagonist now. I know it's going to happen. And I said that too when the movie was happening. And of course, they travel real far to go find her. They find out from a lab, from whatever the case may be. Okay, so Claire walks into the bathroom at this unknown place where all this stuff's happening, and she happens to run into this Kayla character who happened to see her daughter, which the chances of all that happening is just insane. But she sees her and she pulls a picture of her daughter out. Have you seen her? And the pilot says, oh, I can't get involved. It's like, what are the chances of you going there, traveling there, and then you see this one woman who saw her in the restroom and you happen to pull out the picture? That's just so crazy. It really hurt my intelligence, but it's fine. Again, there was just so much of that convenience that happened. When they met up with the other characters, Jeff Goldblum and the other guys, it just all happened conveniently, and they all happened to just fall in, and they were doing that like buddy cop type thing together. It was just, it was super silly. It was so crazy. I don't have that admiration for the Jurassic World, Jurassic Park. My girl did, and she still had the same, you know, sentiments that I had. It was just so insane when that stuff happened. I was like, oh my goodness, this is just crazy. I have more notes to it too. But one of the things that made me laugh a lot too is the way they stop the dinosaurs. Is, if you're a fan of Stranger Things, they do the whole 11 thing. They do this. That's how they stop the dinosaurs. It's insane, and that, for some reason that works. It's just so crazy. Hey, there's again a lot of cheesy moments. I'm not gonna dive super deep into everything. I already talked about some of the convenient stuff that happened. Oh, one of the, I can't not talk about this. There's this other scene where, kind of reminiscent of the one issue I had with Stranger Things this season when the plane crashed and they were all fine. Okay, so Chris Pratt and his girl happened to meet Kayla, the pilot, and she says, "Okay, I'm gonna drive you to her." Why she agrees, I have no idea. They don't know each other. She's playing like, I guess, a woman Top Gun character, I guess. I don't know, but she says she agrees to it. Long story short, the plane it's going to crash. They've attacked it. She decides, and she doesn't even know these people at all. Oh yeah, you can give your girl the ejecting parachute. And why? I was saying the whole time, why would she give that to a stranger when she knows she'll probably die? She doesn't die with this, with Chris Pratt basically, which is just crazy to me. So she gave it to her, gave it to Claire. She ejected herself, and it's basically, oh well, they're effed, that they're done. They crash, and the plane looks all messed up. But they walk out, and there are no scratches. They're jogging, and that's not even all of it. That happens, and then they're on thin ice. They're running, literally on thin ice. A dinosaur comes, it breaks through the little ice wall. Chris Pratt falls through it. All of a sudden, it's chasing him. Now again, if you've ever been in a pool, you know that you know, gravity's kind of your friend, but you need something to help you spring out, right? If you're jumping out, it's very difficult to do unless you're the most athletic person with crazy calf muscles, and and that's just barely jumping to the surface of the water in your pool. Chris Pratt obviously had some kind of rocket ship attached to him, because he springs out of the water like a flying frog, basically. Jumps out of it with no pedestal, no nothing, and then he's just going there running off. He escapes. That was just crazy to me. Again, there's so much of that. It's like the Fast and the Furious to me. I couldn't believe what I was watching. It was very long too. It's about 2 hours and 40 minutes, closing on basically a Marvel movie, superhero movie. One of the worst movies I've seen in a long time. Again, if you're watching it as a comedy, as Shortness herself likes to see it, the sister, Shortness herself, I guess you can do that. Reminiscent of the Meg, which was also horrible. The Fast and the Furious movies, it's just crazy to me. It was so crazy. I can't believe they did that. But again, if you're like all the Jurassic Park movies, Jurassic World, they're all in there. There's that reminiscent fact to it, nostalgicness to it, I guess. Check it out. I'm never going to see that again, unless Shortness herself sees it. Then I want to see her see it, because it's that hilarious. That's it. Horrible. Bad. Very bad. This is the hair.